Stocks on sale. I will be talking about the stocks that I think that are on sale at the time of this recording. Before I continue, I want to clarify this is not financial advice. I'm not qualified to give financial advice. I'm simply recording my thoughts about stocks that are on sale. Guys, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for your support. Now let's start. The first is Novo Nordisk. It's trading at $51 at the time of this recording. I made a video on Novo Nordisk just 10 days ago, and I mentioned that it could be a multi-bagger. Please check it out if you're interested. Now, in full disclosure, I bought 30 shares of Novo Nordisk at $48, and now I will show you the valuation. Now, in Novo Nordisk, I'm counting on something I call the revival. What I mean by the revival, Novo Nordisk going back to their previous growth rate between 13 to 21%, and a margin profile of 16 to 24%. Now, if that's the case, as you can see on the screen, they can get to a price target between $125 to $206. I followed the same logic of applying the average percentage for the reasonable assumptions case and the higher percent for the great execution case. I applied appropriate multiples. If this revival case happens, then this is a multi-bagger opportunity for the investors. The second is Trade Desk. It's trading at around $54 at the time of this recording. I made a video on Trade Desk just 5 days ago talking about why the stock dropped and why it was a buying opportunity. Please check it out if you're interested. Now I will show you the valuation. In the reasonable assumptions case, I assumed 17% growth. Now, due to tariffs and inflation, the ad spend has taken a hit. It will get better once the macroeconomic situation gets better. So this 17%, in my opinion, is conservative. There are some analysts talking about Amazon being a competitor, but I think there is space for a lot of companies to grow in this sector, and Trade Desk is uniquely positioned. Gross margins are high, so 27.5% margin, 35 multiple. Since they are profitable and they have high cash, I am assuming no dilution, even though they are diluting a little bit. But I'm not considering it here to balance out since I'm not considering cash on hand. Now I see 128% gain in 5 years in the reasonable assumptions case. In the great execution case, we can potentially get a 3x. I personally think they will land between these two price targets, $123 and $174 by 2030. Finally, Fortinet stock. It's trading at $79 at the time of this recording. I made a video on Fortinet 5 days ago and why it dropped and why I think Fortinet is a buying opportunity. Please check it out if you're interested. I will move on to the valuation, as you can see on the screen. Now remember, Fortinet grew 14% in the most recent quarter, and cybersecurity industry is growing as well. I assume 10% growth in the reasonable assumptions case, which I think is achievable. Gross margins are high, so 30% margin, 30 multiple. Since they are profitable and they have high cash, I am assuming 1% buyback. Now I see 78% gain in 5 years in the reasonable assumptions case. If they execute greatly, in the great execution case, we can potentially get to 2.5x. I personally think they will land somewhere between these two price targets, $133 and $194 by 2030. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.